Distributed ledger technology means a technology that enables the operation of distributed ledgers, meaning a system that keeps records of transactions shared between a network with a consensus mechanism. My name is Christiana Vovidou. I am a policy officer in the Digital Finance Unit in DG FISMA, and I will talk to you about the EU Distributed Ledger Technology Pilot Regulation. The DLT Pilot Regulation, as it is called, which is in application in the European Union since March 2023, was a first attempt to ensure that the EU keeps pace with changes in financial infrastructure and allows the industry to experiment with using distributed ledger technology when issuing, trading and settling securities. The DLT pilot basically allows market participants and new entrants with a MiFID or a central securities depository license to seek from their national competent authorities derogations from limited provisions in the Central Securities Depository Regulation and the Market in Financial Instruments Directive, which are the two pieces of EU law which apply to these types of financial entities. Why allow these derogations? Because some specific requirements under the Union Financial Services legislation could otherwise prevent market participants from developing solutions for the trading and settlement of transactions in crypto assets that qualify as financial instruments. The idea is that experimentation should be allowed, hence this is a pilot, but without weakening any existing requirements and safeguards applied to traditional market infrastructures. That is why the DLT pilot follows a rather conservative approach. The range of eligible instruments per each DLT market infrastructure is limited to shares, bonds, some forms of securitized debt, money market funds, and UCITS. The thresholds determining the size of these DLT projects are also kept low to prevent trading and settling on DLT becoming too big and endangering financial stability, market integrity, and investor protection. Exemptions are requested individually and may be subject to conditions and compensatory measures the competent authority will require to mitigate any risks. For example, an exemption from transaction reporting obligations may be granted, but there will be a requirement to keep records of the transactions for the competent authority to access if requested. To mention another example of a derogation, traditional CSDs are required under the CSD regulation to settle transactions using central bank money where practicable and available. The DLT pilot enables operators of DLT settlement systems or DLT trading and settlement systems to apply for an exemption from those requirements and settle transactions using commercial bank money or e-money until tokenized central bank money becomes available. DLT-based market infrastructures may represent the next step in the evolution of financial market architecture. DLT has the potential to shift the provision of financial services from an architecture of distinct but interconnected intermediaries, like trading venues, clearing and settlement systems, and payment systems, to a platform-based financial architecture. This allows different intermediaries in the financial value chain to meet on a common platform that enables secure and programmable execution of transactions, as well as direct deployment of financial service applications, rather than needing to communicate across systems and different applications. How exactly the DLT-based infrastructure may evolve is not yet known, and the market is still in the phase of organizing the value chain in different ways to find an optimal architecture for a particular use case. In doing so, they are often constrained by the assumptions built into regulation about market practices and intermediary roles of today's financial architecture. In this respect, the DLT pilot will soon need to be reviewed in order to keep up with innovation and apply any lessons learned from the experience of applying DLT pilot these last 2 years. The review will also seek to correct any current features in the pilot that have proven to be particularly constraining.